and welcome to Nexus of Alexis. We're talking about growing your own food. Is that I'm currently really passionate about. And at the same time, it's not really something that I would call myself an expert in. It's really something that I have in my fitness and health journey. I can see that it's actually pretty important for me to develop this skill set. Why? Right? I mean, if an earlier version of myself would have thought like, grow my own food, yeah, right, why would I waste time doing that? I have so many other really important things going on in my life that I need to focus my attention on, and somebody else's job to grow the food, and it's my job to buy the food and eat the food, right? I mean, if you can relate to that, then definitely drop a comment, let me know. The other thing going on with this is if you are growing your own food already, let me know what you're growing. I would love to know. Drop that in the comments too. Now, one piece with this is growing your own food is a skill that our ancestors definitely had, right? Think about in your own family. How many generations back were they growing food? Were your parents growing their own food? Were your grandparents growing their own food? And maybe not all of it, but some of it. Were your grandparents growing some food? Maybe your great grandparents? I would guess that at least your great grandparents were growing some food for most people, some food. So, this is a skill set that we as humans, especially as modern humans, have only lost in the past couple of generations. I don't know about you, but I did not grow up growing my own food. Did you? This is a skill set I, until the past few years, have had at all. At all. If you ask me how to grow food, I'd be like, go to the grocery store and get it, right? I mean, maybe I would feel like I had foraged, like I could go and pick berries or something like that. But actually growing my own food, I wouldn't really know where to start. So if this is you, I really encourage you to learn how to grow your own food. There's many reasons for this, which I'm going to go into today, but I just first encourage you to just feel into it for yourself. Is this, if you had to grow your food, would you know how? All right. So, right now, in the past couple of years, I've really dedicated myself to this. So, I bought a house in the past couple of years, and I bought a house where it was particularly optimized for growing food so that I could develop this skill set. I also am now growing food inside my house because it's pretty cold outside still. It's not really totally time. So we're growing food inside the house. And for me right now, I'm mostly just learning about the process of what it looks like to be growing food. So, why? Well, this channel and, all of this is really mostly about health and wellness, right? So for me, I've been a fitness trainer for at least 15 years. And I don't know the number anymore, but for a while. And I've certainly been very, very dedicated to improving my health, fitness, wellness, and to learn this to be able to support others in this as well, right? So, along with that, it became really, really clear to me that the source of your food is really important. It's important for your health, and it's also important for the health of the planet. And the health of the planet and the health of yourself are intrinsically tied. We could do an entire video on that. But for today, let's just say that your health and the health of the planet are essentially the same thing. And where you get your food from really, really matters. Now, I would have thought that if I buy food, maybe it says organic on it, that, or hey, I'm eating fruits and vegetables, that That's good. That's good enough. I'm getting lots of nutrients that way, getting fruits and vegetables. Now, let me first say this. It matters what you're comparing it to. If the alternative is that you're eating packaged food, ultra processed from a box, any fruits and vegetables are better than that. So I'm not trying to make it feel all or nothing. So once you've graduated from processed food to natural food, and it's not like you just graduate to it, you never eat any processed food again. But for the most, I have been eating mostly natural food. Then I started realizing, okay, organic would be a good idea. Organic would be a really good idea because number one, pesticides are definitely a scary thing. And especially in the United States, there could be a lot of pesticides and not just pesticides. Also, did you know that they're taking some of our food is coated in plastic? They coat the actual apple in plastic to make it look better in the grocery store to last longer on the shelf kind of thing. I don't want to be eating that. So there's a lot being done by the food industry that are not the best for your body. They are the best for the profit margin of the food industry, but not for your body. And it's not necessarily things you're going to know and they're not going to tell you. So even if you're buying what it says at the store is organic or non-GMO, you don't really know what's going on with the food. In that line as well, even if there's no pesticide, even if they're doing everything at the farm that you're buying the food from in a generally a good way. The other thing going on with this is not you can't tell how many nutrients are in your food. You really can't. I mean, you could send it off to a lab and all of that kind of thing to test it. But to be totally honest, our the amount of nutrients that are in the natural food that we eat is a small fraction of the percentage of the nutrients that were in that food, same food that you would buy a few decades ago. The soil is being depleted, farming practices are not ideal. The amount of time it takes from the time it's on the farm to the time it hits your plate is longer and longer and longer. And all of these things really degrade the amount of nutrients that are in your food. This is not something you're going to know when you buy it at the store. So for you to actually, if you're thinking, I'm eating this vegetable and I'm getting all of these nutrients from that vegetable, that might be true. And it really might, you may barely have any at all. So the only way for you to really know is for you to grow the food. Now, that said, I understand it takes time and it may not be realistic for everyone. And I'm not shaming anyone if you're not able to grow food right now. I'm just bringing this into your awareness. For you to know that your food is nutritive, you need to know what's going into the soil that the food is growing out of because the food is made out of the soil. And so this is a whole thing. This is something that I've been learning so much about, and I'm just really excited to be talking about this today. So, um, the other thing along with growing your food is that when you grow it, I've been learning that when I grow my food, I'm really excited to eat it. So I would say radishes or something that I would be like, yeah, radishes. Okay, sure. I mean, they're pretty good. I like radishes, okay. And then now we've been growing radishes and oh my gosh, I'm so excited about eating radishes. Check them out. These are radishes that we grew. And when you grow it, first of all, when you pull it out and eat it straight out of the dirt, or maybe you wash it first, but just saying, it tastes so much better. Same thing with greens. When you grow kale or mustard or arugula or anything, but especially greens, it actually has a flavor. And when I get it from the grocery store, not really. It doesn't, it tastes might have a little bit of a taste, but the taste is kind of not fully there. But when I grow it myself and I eat it right out of the, out of the garden and eat it, it is so flavorful. It's super delicious. I'm enthusiastic to eat that thing. And so, just for the sake of improving your health habits and making you more enthusiastic about eating the healthy stuff, that in itself is totally a reason to grow your food. Another thing along with that is that when you grow your food, it helps you to understand natural cycles. It helps to understand how long it takes for something to grow and evolve and change. It also helps you see the life cycle of things, like how it starts as a seed and then it germinates and then it comes out of the soil and it grows and the whole thing. That shows you you're learning from the food, from the plant as your teacher. You learn the natural way, and it shows you that you are a part of this natural way. So when you are on a wellness journey and you are making changes for your vitality, you can see that these changes take time and that they do make a difference, and that there are different life cycles of your body that happen, and this is part of the natural process, and that just as it's true for the plant, it's also true for you. So you don't expect that if you just start changing your diet that your appearance is going to change in 2 weeks. It's going to take some time and it's going to make a difference. So just the same way as with your plants that you're planting to grow food, it's going to show you that and really connect you to the wisdom of the natural world. So, in that way, I encourage you to grow your food as well. Now, there's also the whole side of this of the environmental impact. And this side is a big piece. And this is a part that a lot of people are the most excited about. So if the environmental impact is important to you, then I would encourage you to really look at every single thing that you eat, every single thing you buy at the grocery store, and read where it's from. Where is it from? Where is it being grown? Where is it being packaged? Actually find that out. If you're eating bananas, there is absolutely no way that that is coming from North America. If you're eating bananas, they travel hundreds of miles to get to you. Coffee, chocolate, lots of things, sugar, all of those things travel hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles to get to you. So I'm not saying that means absolutely don't eat any of those things ever. Just keep it in mind. So if it's important for you to be, you know, doing things that are good, that your food is grown, the less resources it takes to get to you. That means that even if you can't grow your food, if you can buy it from somebody, then that's better than buying it from somebody far away. And on that note, when you're buying it from someone local, small farm, or those kinds of businesses, so they continue to exist, so that these farms don't just all become giant corporations. So there's that also. Okay. So with that, the other piece with this is I don't want to be some kind of doomsday prepper or anything. I'm really not that. And being able to grow your food is a survival skill. It's important for us to pass this down to future generations as well, so that humans know how to grow food and we don't just become more and more reliant on corporations to feed us. So I encourage you to learn how to grow food and to teach your kids how to grow food too, even if it's something really little, just so that they understand where food comes from and so that they have at least a hint of that skill set in case they ever need it. And that's true for you too, to have at least a hint of this skill set. So, in case you ever need to grow food, that you can and that you have confidence in your ability to do so. Now, I understand that eating healthy, a lot of people are like, tell me that it's so expensive to eat healthy. It's costs so much money to buy organic. And yeah, that's true. It can be. And if you are growing the food yourself, it's not expensive to grow the food yourself. It may take some time. So, your food, your time is valuable. And the food you grow yourself is going to be the healthiest one. So growing it yourself does not cost a lot of money for you to do. Um, and the other thing I'll just say with that is that when you do take the time to actually have a garden and grow food, that in itself is exercise. So if you're looking for a way to actually enjoy moving your body, being maybe you're growing food outside and you get to be in the sun, which is super healthy for you. You're touching the earth, which is super healthy. You get to squat and stand up and dig and pull and push and all of these things that it takes to be gardening. Gardening is really, really healthy for your body. So just the act of gardening is a form of yoga in itself. Now, you don't have to have an outside area to be able to grow food. In fact, I know that for some people, you just absolutely don't have access to that. And I completely understand. That has been me many times in my life where I did not have an outside place to grow anything. So, this is what I learned with this. For one, you can, if you have a window, you can grow something. So, check it out. This right here, gonna do it. There it is. This is my current kitchen window. Check it out. We got plants in the kitchen window. That's all it really takes. You could totally grow something in your window, whatever window. You should learn about the plant and really learn about whether it wants, direct sunlight or indirect and all those things. But a window could be good enough. And if you don't really have that, or if you want a little bit more than the window, there's other options. Like you could have these are grow lights. Now, this is like a window and grow lights because these plants, they are in the window and they are happy to get some sunlight through the window. But, the window has probably some kind of UV filter on it that's going to take some of that sunlight away from the plants. And also, it's not really enough light for these plants to thrive. So we added these grow lights for supplement. These grow lights online, they are inexpensive. They actually not super expensive. I've had them for a long time, years, and they've lasted a long time. They're LED, so they don't take a lot of power. They're not hot. So they're pretty safe to have even in an apartment. And I have them on a timer so that at night the timer goes off. And so the grow lights are only on when the sun is up. And then when the sun is down, the grow lights are off. That way, also for my own circadian rhythm, I'm still, honoring the darkness that my body needs to be able to feel ready to go to sleep. There's a lot of different options for small spaces if you're interested in growing. And we can go way deeper into this if this is something that you want to see more of for me, or if you want to learn more about. Even though I'm not an expert, I'm happy to pass along what I know and also bring experts to help to spread some of this knowledge as well. The other thing I do have going on, you can see it, is this giant greenhouse. So I did buy a 20-acre farm, and I have this in the winter right now is this giant greenhouse, and this is where those radishes came from. We have greens out here, and it doesn't even have a heater in it. It's just using the heat that gets trapped in the greenhouse, and we don't even have to water it very much the way that we set up that garden bed. So I'm not going to say it's no work, it's work, but it's doable. So anyway, that's just a little window into my world. I can't take credit for doing all this. My partner is very devoted to the growing of everything. And I'm super grateful for that. It's really, really helpful. Okay. So that said, I want to show you just a couple of plants that might be a good place for you to start. One is herbs. This one right here is herbs. This is thyme. Now, with the herbs, these grow and you can pick them and use them straight from the live plant. They grow quickly, they're hardy. You could grow them in your kitchen window. You could also buy a plant that's already kind of thriving. And then that's how I really got started was I would buy a plant that was already thriving and then I would just use the herbs off of the live plant until I kind of killed it. And then I would go to the next one, which I'm not going to say it's the best thing to do, but it got me started and it made me start using live plants as food. And that was a good place for me to start. So herbs of all kinds are a really good place to start. Another plant that a lot of people love to do is tomatoes. These are little baby tomatoes. This is kind of like a set plant. This plant has about 5 different tomato plants in it. And they're about at the size right now where they're going to get transferred into a bigger pot. So they are going to get moved into something that's more like, that's like this size. And each one will be in one of those and maybe even get bigger from there, like full on gallon. But this is a pepper plant. And we have a lot of different kinds of pepper plants. This one's a habanero, but we have some that we use for spices, some that we use for food, lots of different pepper plants. But those are 3 that are pretty popular, hardy, good place to start. And you can even use the seeds from yes, you could buy seeds, but you could literally get seeds out of food that you're buying at the grocery store and try it just to try it. So anyway, I would say start small, start with even one, start with something. And I really encourage you to try it. Let me know what you're going to try. Drop it in the comments. If you're already growing food, I want to see it. I know that I don't think the comments of YouTube are they allow like photo share, but if you do and you post it on social, you can tag me at Alexis Craig Fit, or you can tag the Next Fitness Thing at the Next Fitness Thing. And we would love to see and reshare photos of what food you're growing and what you love to make with it too, because that is totally a thing. What do you love to make with the food that you grow? All right. If you don't have the ability to grow at home, there may be a community garden. And at the very least, I really encourage you to support your local farmer, somebody close to you who's growing, and ask them questions about the way that they're growing their food. What pesticides do they use? What kind of additives do they put in their soil? Really learn about regenerative farming and support people who are practicing it, because it's really important for us to be doing it for all of us, for the earth, for our own health, for everyone. All right, that's it for me today. Thank you for coming to Nexus of Alexis. Thank you for coming and staying all the way till the end. Please put that in the comments. I would love to know what you want me to talk about in here. And again, I'd love to see everything that you're growing for food.